It would be really funny if you just got a Unison ad, because chord packs are stupid. Now, I'm not saying that you should never use a chord pack and you should learn music theory, and in fact, the idea of a chord pack is not bad. And it's even better when you know that there is a bigger and better chord collection that's free. I mean, in theory, even if you know music theory, they are time savers, and if you don't know music theory, you can use them to create chord progressions with very complex chords. And I mean chords that you never thought existed. But in practice, they suck. The workflow is really slow. I mean, dragging and dropping different chords and chord progressions and hoping for the best. Come on. We struggle finding the right snare, and we are supposed to find the right chords. For me, there's a better tool to use. The single reason that got me to buy Scalar 2 was being able to display all the chords of a scale, and then, with just a click, preview them. That way I can immediately start testing different combinations. It does have presets too if you want to use them, by genre and by artists. They are dope and you can change the order of the chords as you want, but let's focus on original chord progression making. You can choose literally any scale, and to be honest, don't pay attention to these moods or characteristics. The feeling of a scale depends entirely on how you use it. So let's keep it simple and choose C minor, and let's try to make it sound more inspiring. As I said, you can immediately start testing different progressions just by clicking. And if you don't want this felt piano sound, you can change it right here. If you find something of value in this video, please give it a like. Thank you so much. Now, what makes this interesting are these features right here. Even if you don't know what these things mean, just by experimenting, you will begin to understand how they affect the sound. You will notice that this is a plugin that you can use just by ear. Now, I know my 7ths and 9ths and so on, but let's just focus on the feeling. C minor sounds dark, even sad. But by adding the 7th, it gets a little bit brighter, a little bit less sad, maybe melancholic. Of course, the sound is brighter because we added a higher note, but what's important is how these notes interact with each other and create a feeling. If we add the 9th, it gets more dramatic. And if we add the 11th and even the 13th, it gets a little bit more unstable. All of this is great, and if you like the sound of a chord, you can start experimenting by using these slots at the bottom, or you can drag and drop the chords you like into your project. Now, chord progression doesn't need to start by the tonic or the first chord, but for simplicity's sake, let's start with C minor. So now we start testing different combinations, like 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and so on. I like 1 to 3 or C minor to E major. It gets more happy or more hopeful. But let's spice it up with our trusty 7th. Ooh, that's nice. For the third chord, I like G minor, the 5th degree. But now I want it to sound different and not by adding a 7th, 9th or whatever else. So for that, let's now actually play with the voicing options and see what we like. Now I know that I just said that I didn't want to add a 7th or whatever, but this 7th inverted sounds very good. And now for the last chord, and by the way, a chord progression doesn't have to have 4 chords, this is just a basic structure. For this progression, I really like the sound of A minor, and to check more variations of it, let's check, well, variations. Here we'll choose mediant, which again, you don't need to know what it means, because besides it says which note you're choosing. And now we have different variations of A flat, not only A flat minor. So it's easier to test each one and finish our chord progression with something more complex. I like A flat suspended. This other one, A flat major at 9, also sounds very good, but I think that the extra higher note can be used for a melody instead. This note is B flat. Cool. So the chord progression looks like this: C minor, E flat major 7, G minor 7, and A flat suspended 2. I'm sure that for someone that only knows the basic triads, this chord progression was something hard to come up with. But this explorative way that I just demonstrate is easier and also more efficient. So then thanks to this you can start building a song, you can use the lower notes of the chords to make the bass, then add some drums and whatever else you want. As I said, this plugin is great even if you know music theory, because when you know what the variations are, you can get even faster results. But if you don't know anything about music theory, it becomes a sound exploration process which is very rewarding on itself. The best part is that by using it, you can actually learn music theory as you go. For me at least, music theory tools are creativity boosters, of course when done right. But I want to know your opinion on the subject. Looking forward for those comments. Thank you so much for watching, I will see you next time, and bye bye!